thing I'd like to be able to do is there is the initial before and after photo that I'd like to be able to show you, because when we started the development of this program, again, like I told you, we were not going to do it unless we did it right. And there was one gentleman in particular in the office who's saying, listen, you know what, Dave, if we're going to do this, I've got to be the first guinea pig on this thing. If it works for me, then I tell you what, we've got something special here. So many of you guys may recognize this gentleman here. Or maybe you don't recognize this gentleman here based upon what's happened to him over the last 8 weeks. Please help me introduce, welcome to the stage, Mr. Steve Scott.
Get ready. It works. Okay. I think there's an after picture there.
Yep.
And that was before I started working out. That was about 6 weeks into it. I had dropped 18 pounds without exercise. I was going to start exercising as soon as my weight plateaued, my weight loss. It never plateaued. It kept going down. And yet, before the convention, I wanted to go ahead and have a time where I could say, and then I added exercise. So I finally, at 18 pounds, added exercise. Not a lot, of course not a lot. I'm 65 years old and haven't exercised since Shannon said I do. She said I do, and I said I quit. But seriously, I haven't exercised since then. So my only exercise is every morning except Sunday. I get on a treadmill and walk briskly for 30 minutes, and then I follow that with a 7 to 10 minute resistance workout on the total gym. So that's been going on for 3 weeks. I've lost another 8 pounds. I'm now down 26 pounds. My waistline has gone from a 42 to a 36. And but you know something? It was really important to me to see if this really worked. And it's not just that it worked, but it's how it worked, what it did. Because I wanted to be able to tell you how to make it work for you. So I'm going to do that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and, before we get into the user group, in fact, let me just show you something. This is good. This is the volume of fat that I have lost since being on this product. Now, I didn't even know I had that much in me. That picture was taken in Mexico, and I had been on the product, listen to this, I had been on the product for 8 days and hadn't seen a thing. So I start wondering, is this stuff really working? But while I was in Mexico, all of a sudden, here we're at a place where it's like a cruise ship. There's food everywhere, and it's 24/7. You can put food into your body. And it's food I like. But all of a sudden, I started noticing I'm not that hungry. And since I'm not that hungry, I'm just not going to eat as much. So let's see if I got the right slide for the next thing. Oh, there's me. Look, that's the results. But here's the thing. There's 4 ways to do this program. And the first is, before I tell you that, I don't use PowerPoints very much. But this program's like the world's first Ferrari, only it's weight loss. It's the Ferrari of weight losses, okay? I mean, what it'll do, nothing else in the world will do. And but when you own a Ferrari, I don't own one, but I have some nice cars, you can, if you want to, just drive 25 miles an hour through your neighborhood. Now, a Ferrari can go over 200 miles an hour. But you can drive it at 25 miles an hour. And that's how I started out. I just took the product and made no changes for about the first 7 or 8 days. And then my appetite started to go down. I noticed it in Mexico. I noticed that if I ate a normal-sized meal, I felt like I'd eaten 3 Thanksgiving dinners about half hour later. I mean, I just felt stuffed and uncomfortable. I thought, oh. So I then graduated to driving at 50 miles an hour. I used the reduced appetite to make smaller portions. Not a big deal, right? Portion size, because I wasn't that hungry anyway. So just start taking less, get a smaller plate and take less. And it worked. And that's when I started to see inches start to go. Not a lot. I didn't have a tape measure, so I used my earbuds from my iPhone. And when I started, they wouldn't touch. They were about a 1/4 inch short of touching. And so I would track my progress. Okay, now they are touching. Hooray. Now, look, it's a 1/4 inch over. It's a 1/2 inch over. It's 2 inches over. Holy mackerel. Now I've really... Anyway, so the next way you can go, and you can go at any speed you want. It's up to you. But this really helped. The next way is what I settled into 3 weeks into it, maybe 2.5. But I settled at this speed, 80 to 100 miles an hour. And what I started doing, since I wasn't that hungry, I started eliminating the bad things from my diet. Because I'm not that hungry, I'm not controlled by my hunger anymore, and started making good changes. It used to make everybody cringe in the morning. When I'd come in, everybody, they'd be in my car. Bruce and I, Matheson, we talk every morning, and he knows that I go into Starbucks, I order a venti decaf misto, which is half milk, half coffee, with sugar-free vanilla and 7 sweetened lows. And that makes Bruce gag on the phone. I can't believe you're doing that to your body. Then at lunchtime, I always had a big sandwich, potato chips, chocolate chip cookie, number 4 from Jimmy John's, for any of you that know Jimmy John's. And I'd come in with a big, giant Diet Pepsi. And I mean, Dave would almost want to go to his office and start throwing up. And people said, Steve, how can you do that? You know, well, that's what I've been doing my whole life, nothing new. Well, now all of a sudden I'm not hungry. So instead of ordering a Jimmy John's with all that stuff, I say, okay, let's try a salad with some meat. I'll try chicken on it, then turkey. Another day salmon, some days beef, some days steak. But I'll start seeing if a salad satisfies. First salad with meat I had, I couldn't finish it. That's how my appetite had been reduced. And since I'm no longer driven by my appetite, why not replace that $5 at Starbucks with a giant bottle of Infuse? Right? So I'm starting it right. And at lunch, instead of getting a Diet Pepsi, why not go crazy and have another bottle of Infuse? Or maybe a little ATP besides. So the hardest thing for me, I thought would be, if you gave me the choice of dessert or a bunch of bread. Dave's
butter.
watched me eat a whole loaf of bread with butter, hot bread at Iggy's Sports Grill.
Equal amounts of bread and butter.
I love bread. It's my favorite thing. But all of a sudden, if you're not hungry, even when it's piping hot and although it smells, you don't need to eat it. And I go back to Philadelphia, where I spent 20 years of my life, and I love cheesesteaks. And there's no better cheesesteaks in the world than in Philadelphia, where they were invented. And I love pizza. And it's not that I had to cut those things out. I got to tell you, my stomach just didn't have the appetite. So I would replace those things with healthy choices. Now, if you had asked me to make there's been 100 times, I think, where I said, okay, I'm going to no longer eat starches. I'm going to get rid of the Pepsi. That always lasts for about a day and a half. But when you're not controlled by your hunger anymore, you can make those switches. With this program, every single person that's on it, every person, we had a user group, and we had that's independent in California. We're going to tell you about that. And we had our own group here in our Max family. And every single person said, this is so easy. You don't feel like you're giving things up. I don't know if you remember the potato chip commercial. It was for Lay's potato chips. It says, bet you can't eat one. Guess what? I can eat one. I don't have to have a second one. If I see a great dessert, I can take one spoonful. I don't have to finish the whole thing anymore because I'm not that hungry. It's amazing what happens when you're not hungry. And that's what this product does. Now, if you want to go 150 miles an hour, that's what I started in week number 3. Or not week number 3, week number 8 or 7, about 3 weeks ago. And that's when you add exercise. You don't have to add a lot, just a little. Don't go crazy, but a little resistance exercise. And I know we say, well, gee, Steve, I don't own Total Gym. Guess what? We're getting together a promotion where every person in this room, a little bit of work on your sales volume, and you'll be able to get a Total Gym. Okay? So here we go. Here's our independent user group. Do you want to do that? Go ahead. You tell this.
Okay. Well, I want to be able to credit Steve. He, having been in the infomercial marketplace, he said, listen, I know a group out of California who does these things professionally. I mean, it's all they do are these user groups. So here's what was interesting. Here's what I found out is that after our program was done, he said in the 21 years, he said, mind you, most of these companies come on board and they stack the deck in their favor. They do everything they can to be able to generate the result. You guys, you didn't. You gave them the product, you gave them a general outline, and that was it. There were follow-ups, and that was it. He said, I have never seen a program like this in the 21 years of my company doing this professionally. And folks, we're going to go through what the results were here shortly, but here's what happened is that we selected out an age range, I believe it was between 30 and 55, BMI levels that were in the higher end of the overweight and lower end of the obese scale for body mass index, and we put the program to work. And we've got here what the results were.
60 days.
Yep, 60
2
days.
months.
So average 60-day weight loss, 15.16 pounds. The top weight loss, 25.75 pounds. And by the way, for your information, everybody always says, well, Steve, of course you're going to lose the weight. You're a guy. You don't get it. 3 out of the top 5 weight loss participants were women in this user group. The top 10 average was 18.5 pounds. But folks, this
it's really the top half because it narrowed down to 20 people. So the upper half, which is a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And so but here's really where the program targets. There's a lot of ways to lose weight. A lot of ways to lose weight. The question is whether or not it's healthy. The initial, what you want to do is to burn what, Steve? Body fat.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, weight doesn't kill you, fat does.
So here's what I think you guys are going to be excited about. Of all the weight loss, 75% of the pounds lost were represented by fat loss.
And he said he's never seen anything close to that for all the user groups he's done, and he does them for all the big companies. He said he's never seen anything get anywhere near that 75% number. So we're really talking about targeting fat.
So guys, this is more... in fact, you know what, Steve? Do you want to touch on this one? This one's exciting.
Yeah, 2 subjects actually lost more fat than weight. I'll show you one. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead.
Yeah, take that one.
This guy, his name is Stephen Taylor. His before and after doesn't look that good. Okay, he looks a little bit like that comedian. I can't think of his name. But anyway, but here's the statistics. He lost 22 pounds overall, but he lost 30 pounds of fat. What's the difference? He gained 8 pounds of lean muscle. So his weight, if he didn't gain any lean muscle, it would have been 30 pounds, 100% body fat. But he gained lean muscle. And there was another lady that lost 6 pounds of fat. Yes, and she lost 4 pounds. She was on, and they say they don't think she was compliant to what she was supposed to do. But look at what he says. I provided a better eating habits for my children, and I feel like a better parent for setting a good example. That's exactly what Dave was talking about earlier. I feel I'm setting a good example. My kids are seeing, I don't want my kids to try to, my kids have a high metabolism. I have one son that burns 4,500 calories a day when he's in training. And so they don't need to do any of this. But they're at least seeing, hey, even dad can eat healthy. And so that's I go along with that. Now, we're going to just show you a couple. We have a whole bunch, but we don't have time to show you.
But we will have updates for you soon. So keep in mind, this is just a picking of a few of the groups.
Right.
We're going to have end of study testimonials, and Steve's going to be able to direct those. So you guys are going to be armed with a bunch of before and after.
Yeah, we're going to, and what we're doing, they begged us to extend it 90 days. The ladies did not want to go off it for 60 days. And interesting, people always say, well, how do you maintain? What do I have to do? Do I have to stay on this very long? You know what? You stay on it as long as you want. I will tell you, Steve Scott will always be on curb. I will always be on switch. Why? I don't want my appetite to ever get the best of me again. I love finally being in control of my appetite, and it's only because it's gone way down. I don't want it to go way back up. So this, I believe, is residual income, just like anything else we sell. Okay, so this is this sweet lady, and she had some incredible statements to make. There she is. Afterwards, this is only 60 days, and her statistics, she lost 25 pounds, 25 3/4, total of 9.5 inches, 16 pounds of body fat. That's 16 softballs. Look at, she said, I joined Weight Watchers and plateaued after losing 7 pounds until now. It has been 10 years since I was this size, and it has boosted my confidence. This has been a total success for me. That's typical of every person in that group.
You know what's great about this, folks? That's what we were touching on earlier. A successful program, rather than yo-yoing, you will actually drop your pounds and boost your confidence, and that's how we want people walking around in life.
Okay, this lady, there she is. And I can't remember how old she is, but she definitely looks better there in 60 days. And remember, these people aren't Max associates. My wife would tell me, yes, honey, but you're motivated. You're doing all this for convention. Yes, I am. I was motivated. Convention was only 90 days away when I started this. Guess what? Anybody can be motivated for 90 days. You want to watch your business go through the roof? Is it worth getting motivated for 90 days? I'm telling you, nothing sells like a before and after. I'm going to give you my elevator pitch in a few minutes. Don't let me forget. It's a 30-second pitch. I show that, do that, and get my before and after, and 100% of the people I do that to want the product. That's a good batting average, okay? And you can have it too. That's worth motivation. All you have to do is motivate yourself for 2 weeks, because then it all becomes habit and enjoyable. I love what I eat now, and I love not being hungry. Okay, she lost 20 1/4 pounds, 14 inches, 14 pounds of body fat, down from a size 14 to a size 10. Look what the first thing she says. I'm eating healthier than I ever have before, and I never thought it would be this easy. Is that great? Weight loss, that instead of weight loss being discouraging and a struggle, can you imagine trying to live on 2 protein shakes a day for 90 days? How about for the rest of your life? Impossible. This is easy. I like easy. Okay, so does Staples, by the way. Okay. My appetite is reduced significantly, and I can control cravings. Here's Michelle, before, after. 60 days. Can you be motivated for 60 days? 17 pounds, size 16 to a 12. She's always been overweight, hired trainers, excessive amounts of cardio, fat burners, etc. Made her heart race, no fooling. The fat burners, guess how they burn fat? They raise your metabolism by slamming stimulants in your body that gets your heart to pump real fast. Do you think that's healthy? No. No, it's not. People have died from stuff like that.
Folks, as Steve's going through this, think about the number of people you know that are mirror image of these people that you're seeing here, saying the exact same things. I mean, that's one of the things that motivates me so much. Very exciting.
Here we go. Linda Gomez, we're almost done with our before and afters. There she is. And there she is. And 16 pounds. People say, well, 16 pounds doesn't sound like much. When it's 16 pounds of fat, look what it does. You don't have to lose 100 pounds of fat. A little bit of fat, I'm telling you, it's amazing. People say I've had a lot of people come up to me in the convention, and they say, you look so much younger. And all that's happened is the fat's left my face, my neck, my arms, when it leaves, it leaves. It doesn't discriminate. It leaves all over your body. This lady says, I can finally wear the clothes I haven't been able to in 3 years. She's tried curves, joining a gym, fad diets, FinFin, Herbalife, Weight Watchers. Sorry, guys. And they were all so restrictive. I always failed. See? Here we go. I think this is our last one. There she is. There she is. And she lost a total of 16 pounds, 10 inches, 4.5 inches off her belly. You can see the different things she's tried, and none of these gave results like these. Okay, now we get into the fun stuff. This is the max beta group. We had about 25. We could, if we had time, we'd parade every one of them on here because we've heard the same things from everybody. But we don't have time because there's other things to do in this show besides make you millionaires. Excuse me, I mean make you a lot of money. So we got to get to those other things.
No specific income claims being made here.
Yes.
Continue.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to make a disclaimer about last night. Last night we heard people talk about different health states that we're not supposed to say. No Max product cures or treats any illness or disease. All we do is get the right nutrient, miracle nutrient, into the cell in a miraculous way so your cell can produce its miracle molecule, glutathione. Glutathione's the hero. We just give the cells what they want. By the way, you want a nice word picture? Somebody says, what's glutathione? It's the Chuck Norris of the human cell. Kicks out the bad guys, helps the good guys do what they're supposed to do, protects the immune system. You know, the immune cell has one protector. There's only one thing that can protect the immune cell. That's glutathione. That's Chuck Norris. And you can show them pictures of Chuck Norris and Max. Okay, in fact, we hope to have a video of what you saw today in the not too distant future. Okay, so here, let's see. Oh, I will show you. This is a fun statement. In the United States, I can't speak for other countries, but in the U.S., 70% of the adult population is overweight. 34% is medically defined as obese, okay? But total of 70%. So right away you got 70% of the adults. Now here's the interesting part. Of the other 30%, almost every one of them thinks they're overweight, and they all want to get it off. I was in a jewelry store, and I thought, I'll try this. So the manager was helping me and a sales girl, and I say, let me show you something. I said, this was me 4 weeks ago. She goes, my gosh, what happened? I said, my company's got a new weight loss product that we're launching. Well, how can I get it? That was hard. And I said, well, it's not going to be available for 7 weeks. You mean I have to wait 7 weeks? I said, yeah. Now, this is the manager of Tiffany's, and it was Shannon's birthday, so I'm trying to do something nice. It was actually the day before her birthday because I'm such a big long-term planner. And, but anyway, and she says, well, I got to have that. Did you see the guy I was talking to earlier? Yeah, I saw you off in the corner. She said, that's my fiance. He's 55, and you see how much weight he has to lose. So I want to get 2 of them. And the girl next to us was probably a size 4, 31 years old. She said, I need it too. And the manager and I look at her and we said, you don't need to lose weight. And she says, you don't see what I see. Okay? Now there's one more market. This is so exciting. And what tipped me off to this market is my assistant, Maddie, and you're going to meet her in a second. But Maddie didn't need to lose weight. You know what she does? For years, she exercises an hour and a half every day, 6 days a week. 3 times a week, she boxes. She's in great shape. She didn't need to lose weight. Now I'm going to let Maddie, by the way, I'll show you. She didn't need to lose weight. There's her before picture. So now will you please welcome someone that's going to come out and help you build your organizations and fill them full of women in the near future. We're going to send her all over the world. Please welcome my assistant. I've known her since she was a little girl, but she's the best assistant I've ever had. And I've had assistants for 35 years. Please welcome Maddie Lindsay.
Thank you guys so much. This is slightly embarrassing to see my photo up there, so large. But like Steve said, I love to work out. I love to exercise. I love the health and wellness and fitness industry, working out 6 days a week, boxing as much as I can. And I never seem to be able to gain any sort of definition in my muscles. I ate very clean. I was on a very strict diet. I sacrificed so much in order to see changes, and I never did. So when Steve told me that we were coming out with weight loss, I said, Steve, I want to be on that product. And he said, Maddie, there's no way. You don't need to lose weight. I think I had to ask 3, 4 times,
I think
please.
she snuck it.
Please,
I never said
did.
yes.
Well,
She
you
came
know,
and asked
now
me.
that it's
she
out,
asked Dave.
I did take a bottle. Okay, I did. But the reason I wanted to do it is because for me, weight loss is not the big thing for me. It was about the body fat. I didn't think I really needed to lose weight, and I was fine with the number on the scale. So being able to see that definition was what it was for me. So when I went on the product, I said, I am not changing anything. I already work out. I already eat healthy. I love to eat a whole bucket of popcorn when I go to the movie theater. That is a confession. And I didn't want to change it. I've done so many diets where I've had to sacrifice so much, go on shakes 3 times a day. At one point, I was eating 24 eggs a day for food. That is all I got to eat, and still no changes. So when I went on this product, 30 days into it, I noticed that I started to see more definition in my stomach, more definition in my legs and my arms. I got on the scale, and no changes for me in weight, which I was fine with, you know. We talk about that the scale should not be what you are measuring yourself with. You should be measuring you by your clothes. By day 34, I had lost 4 pounds, several inches, and since then, this is...
Green button.
Green button. Before, after. This was taken 3 weeks ago. And I am proud, very, very proud to say, very proud to say that my stomach now looks better than it does in that photo there. So I have continually seen progress with inch loss, weight loss. I've lost 7 pounds, 4% body fat for me, which is huge.
Well, 4%
huge.
less.
4% less body fat, yes. But to be able to see definition, that is all I ever wanted. And with this product, I finally have. So it should show you that you shouldn't judge a person by whether they look like they need to lose weight or they don't, because every person can take it and see results. See them.
Well, Maddie said something to me that I love. She said 2 things that I love. She said, you can call it MetaSwitch, you can call it anything you want. I'm going to go to the gym and start telling everybody it's my workout miracle.
It is.
And tell them the little phrase.
For me, it was all about peel and reveal. My self-confidence at the gym has gone up because of peeling away that layer of fat and revealing the muscle that I have worked so hard for that I've never gotten to see. So it is finally like its birthday, and we're partying.
So everybody in a gym, everybody, even the guys that look good and the women that look good, everybody's a candidate because everybody wants to peel and reveal.
And something funny that you mentioned about guys at the gym, I'd be standing there doing, you know, barbell curls because I've started to get stronger, and I look over at the guy next to me and we're lifting the same amount. And he'd look at me and he'd put his barbell down and he'd go get something real heavy. And he'd come back and he'd struggle. But it made me feel so good and proud of myself because I finally feel like I look the way that I have always wanted to look.
Okay.
So, do you want me to do the cues?
I'll go do these.
Okay.
And you stay out here. So our market now becomes everybody, okay? Even the ones that look fit. There's her things, but we're going to zip through these because we're down to 17 minutes, which isn't a lot. Jim Phipps was one of ours. Jim, as you know, is 75. He's one of our dear one. He and his wife received the Humanitarian Award, and just unbelievable. There he is before, and there he is after. And he's lost 13 pounds, 2 inches in the belly. No more fast. I mean, just look. That's a great one. I'm going to show you another. Here's Helen Belcher from Australia. She told me, she said, I've been eating the right things, doing exercise all the time, but there's just a little bit I can't get rid of. Well, now it's gone. And so, yay for Helen. 2 inches off the waist. Look at her. I feel in control of cravings and have no desire for snacks and feel satisfied. You know what your snack becomes? It becomes the healthy fiber bar. Okay, now we're going to introduce 4 of our Max Beta group. And the first one is a guy, I was at a Christmas party in Toronto. And we sat at his table, and he kind of said, Steve, I really want to be a part of the Beta group. I almost said, Saul, you and everybody else in Max. But I didn't, because that would have been rude. And I said, I'll see what I can do. Well, I'm glad I did. Saul, come on out. There's his before. And here he is, 25 pounds lighter. Hey, bud. Okay, Saul, you have about 60 seconds.
Go.
60 seconds.
Or 90.
All right. I've tried probably every weight loss product on the planet. I've been losing weight for 2.5 years. I've lost over 120 pounds. Don't applaud because it was all painful. It was, every step of it was painful. But you'll never get that vision out of your head. Me with an extra 120 pounds, I can promise you that. It was all painful because I had to give up things I wanted. I like to eat. Nothing worked. I didn't try the shake thing, but I tried everything else. So when I had an opportunity to get involved with the MAX program, I was interested in the first week because I lost 120 pounds, 2.5 years. If you do the math on that, that's about 1.5 pounds a week. And I was happy with that. First week on the new MAX product, 5 pounds.
Wow.
I used to lose 5
And
pounds
that's
a
not
month.
normal. That is the exception, by the way. I didn't lose anything for the first 9 days. But
Well, I don't care about you. I care about my 5 pounds in the first week.
Amen.
And I got my story. So, yeah, it's truly amazing. Nobody asked you.
But the next week, you didn't lose anything, right?
That's right. I didn't lose anything the next week. But you know what the difference is? And you summed it up, I think, earlier, and I'm just going to kind of reinforce that, is that I sat down, it was day 3, I sat down for supper, and we always eat well. We just eat too much. Sat down the third day, I sat down, I finished half the plate, and I went, I'm full. How did that happen? And then I remembered the switch, and the switch had gone off 3 days, 5 pounds in the first week. So, yeah, yay, Max.
Amen. Now, has it been, you talked about the pain and suffering you've gone through to lose the first 100.
120, but who's counting?
120. And tell us about, I mean, have you felt sacrificing or anything on this? How hard's it been or whatever?
No, and that was the big difference. Everything else I've tried, you had to give up what you wanted, or you had to do painful things that I don't like to do, including the stuff that you do with exercising. I didn't change anything because I'd been on a consistent weight loss for 2.5 years. So my thing was the first week, and really, I didn't change anything. We continued to eat the same food. I ate the capsules, I ate the bars, and I ate my regular 3 meals and a couple snacks a day, like I always did. And the weight just came off. I changed nothing, Steve.
Wow. Wow. Praise the Lord.
Thank you. And thank you,
Thanks,
Dave,
Phil.
for creating this.
You're welcome.
Let's see who takes the next one.
I think it's
Me,
just Maddie.
Sherry.
Oh, good.
So our next associate we're going to bring out, you guys know, Sherry Warner. And here's her before, and she was already in good shape. She was working out, eating right. She had, a trainer. She was working with somebody to help her reach her goals, but she could never seem to get there. So Sherry, let's go ahead and welcome her on out.
Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful.
Sherry, go ahead and tell us a little about your experience on the product.
This product is awesome. At 53, I also was struggling with some fatty areas of my body that I could not get rid of, such as belly fat, back fat, chest fat. Those were my areas that I struggled in. So I joined the gym. I worked out for a long time. And I didn't notice any significant changes, so I hired a personal trainer. And I worked out harder. And I didn't notice a lot of changes in those areas. And then the Max Weight Loss product arrives. I take it. I didn't really notice anything for 2 weeks until I took my measurements. And the measurements, the inches were starting to decline. At 4 weeks, I didn't have to take my measurements. I was already down a whole pant size and not any weight. I lost 1 pound in 4 weeks, but the most significant changes started taking place in weeks, 6, 7, and 8, and the inches were coming off everywhere. And the best thing about all of it is that all that time that I spent in the gym, the results were showing. I had definition, I had tone, and I had a lean body. Back to when possibly in my 30s, maybe even high school. So it's awesome, and it rocks.
Was it hard?
It was not hard. I followed the plan. I didn't really change my eating habits in the beginning, but the program changed my eating habits. I was not hungry. And when I was hungry, I was choosing better foods, fruits, vegetables. I lost the cravings for a lot of things.
That's from the user group study. That was the most consistent remark. I'm not craving as much sugar. I'm not doing this. My appetite's down. I mean, it was very, very similar to you. But so you're definitely in Maddie's category of peel and reveal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Our next guest.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Sherry.
I think I'm bringing out.
Huh? Yes, you go ahead.
Obviously, the next one is that, guys, you know in your business and you've got family, life can get pretty dang busy. The next gentleman I'd like to be able to introduce has been not only working very diligently here in the United States, but also traveling quite consistently down to both Colombia and El Salvador. And I know that when you're doing your business, a common thing to do is to sit down, eat, and discuss the business. Okay? And this gentleman traveling a lot, obviously nobody could ever question his tenacity in the business, but he never could quite get the results he wanted to in any type of a weight loss program. So we got on him, and he got on the program, and I'd like to be able to welcome to the stage.
Show the before.
Oh, the before after, sorry. Alex Monterosa before. This was before coming to Cabo. After, introduce Alex Monterosa. You're welcome. So Alex,
Wait, I want to hear by round of applause. Do I look good? Woo! Do I look better now that I take the jacket I used to use 2 months ago? Huh? How about if I start taking off the pants I used to wear 2 months ago? Huh? Better? Look at this. Before I didn't need a belt. They would stay up by themselves. Check this out now. This is what's going to happen to you if you get on this product. So by next convention, we may need to do a nudist convention because our clothes will be falling off. How's that? Woo! Much better, huh? Guys, I'll tell you something. Real quick, because I only have 3 hours. Real quick. I've been heavy set my whole life. Whenever I've lost weight, it's been a sacrifice and a half. How many of you relate to that? Okay? And I realized about 3 months ago, in May, that I could, I've had success with Celgevity, I've had success with ribosine, and I would never get away from it, and I'm always going to be a huge promoter of it. But no matter where I went, even though my blood levels, which this is true, my wife and I had some blood work done, and we went to a doctor, he did some clinicals. What he told us was literally this, Steve. He said, your markers, yours and your wife's markers, are at the level of someone in their 20s. I'm 42 years old. So I knew why that was. I've been on the product at that time for 4.5 years. So I said, okay, great. So I would go out and share that story with people. And then they would take a look at my body and it was like, oh, this guy's just pitching something. Okay, this guy's just trying to sell something. And it's true, you have to become a product of your product, which I was, according to my tests. Now, when this product comes out, I told Steve, I've tried so many things in the past, none of them work. Give it to me and I'll prove to you it doesn't work. That's what I told him. He starts laughing. He says, nah. And then I go, I need it. I want to try it because I'll promote it. So
I got to tell you the truth. I've known Alex from the beginning, and I was really afraid he would not give me a good after.
It doesn't get much better
and you
than
know what?
that.
It's very interesting you say that because in May, before I knew the product was going to be launched, I told my wife, you know what? I'm just going to do what I know I need to do and start getting healthy. So we hired a personal trainer that comes to my house, and I told him I'm going to take the same approach to losing weight by exercising that I've done with my business, which has succeeded. And I'm going to be teachable. No matter what I know, I'm going to become teachable. And you've heard me say this before. I'm going to prepare myself, and I'm going to commit myself. My trainer's somewhere here. Raise your hand. Where are you? Stand up.
There.
He's somewhere around here. Okay, he's over there, back there. So you guys can ask him what he thinks about this product. Well, he's obviously here. I told him I don't do mornings to work out because I go to bed late at night. So he gets to my house about 12:15. At that time, 2 to 3 times a week. And I started working out, busting my you-know-what. And working out, and it was kind of like, okay, I have to drag myself to go to exercise. 6 weeks after, I had an incredible success of 6 pounds lost. So it was a pound per week. And when I told him, he says, Alex, that's not bad. You're losing a pound per week. It's a healthy way to do it. Just, keep at it. You'll see. And I said, all right, as long as I'm going down, I'm happy. I wasn't complaining. We go to Cabo. There went those 6 pounds in Cabo at the Diamond Retreat. The video you guys saw this morning where I come out talking, that was in Cabo San Lucas, filmed on June 22nd. okay? June 24th, when I got back with the product in my hand, I got on it. I didn't change anything because I was already exercising. It took me about 10 days to start to feel that I was full. But I was already used to serving myself a certain amount, so I'm not one to leave food on my plate. And I'm not one to allow others to leave food on their plate, so I would eat everybody's food. But about 10 days in, I started eating all of my stuff, and halfway there I realized, you know what, this is where I gotta make the change. I can't keep eating just because the food is there. So I stopped, and I got full right away, so I stopped eating. Then I started serving myself less. Then I find that it started getting really, really cheap because my wife and I share plates now, okay? Because she's been taking it also, which she's lost about 12 pounds.
Wow.
Now, we started sharing our food. So I go, hey, it's getting cheap to go out on dates with you. Let's go out every night. So we started doing it. The interesting thing is this. The following 6 weeks after Cabo, I lost 24 pounds. That's no changes at all. Which, when I say no changes at all, don't try this product, take it, and then go out and overeat and think it's a license for you to go and eat all that stuff. You've been holding yourself back because you know what's going to happen if you keep eating it. That's not what it is. When I say no, it's effortless, no changes at all, I mean, it's really just adapting it to your lifestyle and start to listen to your body, I guess to your A and PK. Remember the A as in Alex, M as in Monte Rosa, PK, okay? Yeah, that's easy to remember. And you start listening to that signal, your body starts doing incredible stuff like you've seen with everybody here. And what I'm most amazed about, I'm at 42 years of age, it is the easiest thing I've ever done to lose weight. And having been heavy set my whole life, I've always said, in my lifetime, I really hope that I get to see a product where one can take it and it would work. And it doesn't have to be a sacrifice, and it doesn't have to have secondary effects. Okay? And guess what? We have it. Max has it. It's ours. How much of a blessing is that? Okay? And on a final note,
now, Alex has lost 35 pounds on the product. So you got to take my 25 and add 10, buddy.
So your balls plus my balls is 35.
There you go.
You guys are bad. You know what I like about this? You're seeing male, female. You're seeing young ones like Saul, a lot younger ones like myself. It doesn't matter what age. It's like our glutathione precursors. They work. They really, really work. Best testimony is you to become a product of the product. Okay? Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Oops, sorry, I got it, Steve. I just want to say, as Alex goes out, the one thing he told me, he says, you know, one thing I'm not very happy about, Dave, is I am spending a lot of money replacing my wardrobe. So just beware that it's not just the cost of the product. You will have to replace some clothes.
Okay, this next person, we're in a parking lot. I think we were in Georgia at the time. Yay, Georgia. We were in Augusta, Georgia. And everybody's left. We had dinner, a big group of us, and she says, Steve, I've got to ask you something. I said, what's that? She said, can I please be part of the beta group? And, you know, we have a very limited amount of supply of product at the time to throw around. And I said, well, Sherry, Diane, I'll see what I can do. And I want you to know, our Max poster child for this product, here's her before, Diane Warner. That's size 18. She said she had been walking for a while. I'm going to let her tell you her whole story. I won't tell you. In fact, I'll just let her come on out. Diane?
I got the eye of the tiger, the fire, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
So exciting.
Louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear.
Hi guys. On April 15th of this year, I woke up and got on the scale. It said 220.8 pounds. For someone that's 5'2", I knew that was deadly. I figured I was about 90 pounds overweight, and both of my boys at birth weighed 6 pounds each. That's 15, that's like having 15 newborn infants hanging off of me at all times. So imagine trying to go up a flight of stairs with 15 infants hanging off of you. Imagine trying to bend over and tie your shoes. Imagine your latest health screening coming back from the doctor saying moderately obese. Excuse me. Thank you, Rhonda. I was disgusted with myself and ashamed. So I called the local hospital, and I got in to see the dietitian there, and I said, teach me how to eat properly. I need to know the right food choices to make. And then I put my tennis shoes on, and I started pounding the pavement every day, an hour a day. Rain or shine, I was out there. I lost some weight. I lost about 25 pounds in 3 months, and I went down about 1 pant size. It was coming off a little slowly. So July 3rd, I started my MetaSwitch program, and about 10 days into the program, I noticed on my walk that I was running a little warmer as far as my body temperature went. I was perspiring a little more, and I felt great. It was awesome. I knew it was kicking in. It was working. A day or two later, I sat down to have dinner with my family, and I couldn't finish what was on my plate. As a matter of fact, I got about a third of the way through it, and I was finished, full. Thanksgiving dinner at my mother-in-law's full. So it was working, and it was awesome. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So 3 weeks into the program, it's time to send Madison and Steve updated measurements and a new picture. So I measured myself, cleaned my glasses, measured myself again. I was down 15 inches in 21 days. Seven and a half pounds and 15 inches in 21 days. How can that be? So I had my son take an updated picture, and when I compared day 1 to day 21, it was unbelievable. It was like someone took an eraser and just vanished or just melted the fat off of my midsection, my arms, my legs, my chest, everywhere. It was just vanishing. It was unbelievable. Who does that in 21 days? Well, I did, thanks to this program. A week later, 6.5 more inches, and it just kept coming off. To date, I am down 36.5 inches. I am down from a size 18 pants to a size 10. And I'm down 18 pounds. I feel awesome. People are coming up to me and they're saying, what are you doing? I just saw you 3 weeks ago. It's crazy. You don't look like the same person. Eric Anderson, Bob Kalin didn't recognize me. I don't know where you guys are, but I feel great. And at the rate I'm losing, I could be down to a size 2 before I leave the stage today. It works, guys. It truly, truly works. It's amazing. I can't wait for all of you to experience what I've experienced. Thank you, Max. And one last thought I want to leave you with. Next summer, when it's time to go to the beach, and typically I would have been looking for a full body cover-up and a super-sized towel to cover up everything I'm ashamed of, I'll be in my own itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny, yellow polka dot bikini.
Did that work?
Oh, that was great. Congratulations. Okay. We're going to wrap this up. You can leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll see Maddie at a city near you.
One quick thing. Hey, guys, I just want to be able to say as a closing note, obviously inspirational. Just remember that this program is not so much about dropping pounds as it is gaining life, okay? Dropping the fat, gaining life, and we're so proud of the people that have put in their efforts to be able to give us this initial launching pad to be able to do this product. However, it also comes with some additional, your turn.
Oh, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? Okay, but before I do that, I want to show one thing.
Oh, okay.
This is not in the script, so he didn't know about it. I want to show you a little bit. You know all those people that say, oh, I get plenty of fiber, I just eat a big salad? To get the fiber in this one little bar, you would have to eat 6.5 heads of lettuce. People say, oh, I eat fruit. You'd have to eat 4 bananas. You'd have to eat 6 peeled apples. And other people say, oh, I have a bran muffin. Well, this equals 8 bran muffins. All these bran muffins. Can you see them? You guys probably can't even see them. But basically, it's a lot of bran muffins. This fiber bar is a miracle. Now, I will tell you, if I don't ever have to lose weight again, I will be on this the rest of my life. I'm 65 years old, and I need some digestive help. And this I'll tell you, it's great. And what does that mean? That means my body, my insulin level stays better, so we convert calories to fuel instead of, calories to fat. And I want to praise Dave Bagley and the doctor from the University of Michigan that you'll probably meet in January. He couldn't be here today because of a conflict. That worked so hard going back and forth. There's a reason nobody else does this. Number one, it's expensive as far as the cost of goods. Insoluble fiber is a lot more expensive than soluble. And number two, nobody's ever been able to make it taste better than sawdust. This tastes good. I'll give you one warning for all of our products. A full 12-ounce glass of water with each 2 pills that you take 30 minutes before a meal. If you're taking an hour before a meal, that's fine too. Don't worry. But at least 30 minutes when you can. And you need to eat 3 meals a day. Now, I never ate breakfast before as a norm. So now I start with a real light breakfast, either hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese and grapes, things like that, just to get some protein, because that kickstarts your metabolic system. So this doctor said you got to do 3 meals a day. But light meal on the first one, if you want. That's me. And I tend now to make lunch my biggest meal, and dinner is another light meal, because I'm really hungry at lunch, and now with this, I'm not that hungry at dinner time. But the pills are miraculous. They work together, Dave and this particular doctor, back and forth with the suppliers. Dave didn't tell you that just a clinical study on one active ingredient, well, he told you about the 1,000 people. He didn't tell you that 300 of those people were diabetics. And the diabetics have a hard time losing weight. And the average weight loss was 8 to 9% of their body weight in 120 days, I think. It was 4 months. That was just one study, but it's a massive study. That's why this scientist we're working with, he said, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to use any of the gimmick stuff. There's lots of gimmicks out there that use junk science, so they're not independent clinicals. They're not, he says, we're going to stay with science. And we said, amen to that. So get ready. This takes, the way I do it, and I just got to tell because this is real practical for those that start using it today. A bar, I break it in half, and I use morning, if I get a craving or I'm hungry at all, then I'll go ahead and have half a bar and a good 12 ounces of water for a half a bar. And then at dinner time or even before bedtime, I'll go ahead and have half a bar and another full 12 ounces of water. If you do a full bar, that's okay, but take 24 ounces of water. This thing needs water. That's what makes it, really helps it do its work. People have been congratulating me. Everybody I see at this convention that knows me, congratulations. For what? For eating a snack, drinking water, and taking some pills. Boy, I really work hard at that. No, we congratulate Dave, for all the hours and effort you put in to make this possible. Thank you. Okay, now we can go ahead and talk about you guys. I've got a complaint against you guys. We really ordered a lot of this stuff. We looked at how much Celgevity we sell in a month, and it's taken 2 years to get there. And you guys, before we even get on the market, we go ahead and order 3 times that much, and you guys sell it all in 3 weeks. And that's from 3 pictures floating around on Facebook. What's going to happen within 90 days of this convention? There are going to be over 1,000 before and afters on Facebook, you and your friends, at least 1,000, maybe 3,000 or 4,000. Then what's going to happen? Then we're going to have 5,000, and then 10. We're not going to be able to control this. And that brings us to our problem. Stop selling. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now you go from here. What? Oh, thank you. My elevator pitch. It's real simple. It's so simple you don't even have to write it down. You'll remember it. The MetaSwitch system raises your metabolism without raising your heartbeat. So it's heart healthy, no stimulants. It lowers your appetite. So you're no longer controlled by hunger, so you use your new freedom to make the right choices. And you never feel like you sacrifice a thing, and then you show them your before and after. Every time I say that and show them my before and after, every single time, people want the product. They don't even ask how much it costs. They want it. Okay? It's not hard. Raises your metabolism, lowers your appetite. Then you use your reduced appetite, since it no longer controls you, to make better, healthier choices. And watch the inches. Listen, the most important measuring device you have is your clothes. Second to that is your tape measure. Nobody looks at you and sees a number on your head, 26 pounds. No, they go, wow, are you looking younger? What are you doing? See, it's the inches. It's the fat we want to get rid of. 1 pound of lean muscle takes up the volume of a golf ball. Okay? 1 pound of fat takes up the volume of a softball. You guys go out and buy softballs and golf balls and use your own demonstration. These are great word pictures. And this 1 pound of lean muscle, guess what? It burns the fat 24/7. So that's what you want to build. That doesn't do anything except make you sick and die early and get diabetes and go through a lot of suffering you don't want to go through. So, but my elevator pitch is none of that. My elevator pitch, metabolism up, heart rate stays the same, appetite down, fat comes off. Here was me 4 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago or 10 weeks ago. Here's me now. That's all it takes. Easy. Okay.
All right, awesome. All right, so guys, as Steve had mentioned, absolutely blew away our expectations. So congratulations to each of you guys for that. Now, understand that you guys here in the audience, we're not just a relationship between consumers and suppliers. Okay, all of us represent Max as a business, and all of you guys who purchase product also purchased what we'd classify as inventory to be able to sell, okay? So during this next time period, what's going to happen is that we've got enough, as promised. Everybody here coming to convention, all the product which you have purchased is available for you here to be able to pick up today.
The ones that ordered it
the ones
for
that
pickup,
pre-ordered.
because a lot of you wanted it shipped.
Okay?
So the ones
so
that
those who
ordered.
pre-ordered for Will Call, your product is here today. Those who elected shipment, your shipment's going to happen in approximately 10 days, okay? We're working overtime with the suppliers to be able to get that in, expedited as quickly as possible. They believe in this project. They're getting the next allotment to us. It'll be shipping in about 10 days. From that point forward, what we're doing is that starting on Monday, we're going to again do an extension of the pre-sale that we did during the last 3 weeks, okay?
So you don't have to stop. You can go ahead and just order whatever packs are in the back office, because I think the pack
It's
configuration
the same as what we did in the last
Is
3
it?
weeks. You'll have
Okay.
both of the Fit Kit and the Fit Kit Plus available. The only difference is that it will not have our convention promotion attached to it with the extra box of product, and obviously no photo with Chuck. Okay, so that will be the only difference with that. And then our next ship date, we're looking to be able to receive the next allotment of product on October 15th, okay? Now, we're working with them to be able to actually triple production of our already forecasted increase rate to be able to make sure that our demands, our supplies are keeping up with the demand that you're creating. Now, obviously, guys, our team worked overtime, as Steve had mentioned. We took a look at the average monthly sales rate of Cellgevity. We took a look at that, said, hey, we know if we hit that number, let's go ahead and do that. But we thought, you know what, it's probably going to be maybe a third of that, a month one, see where it goes. You triple our expectations, blew it out of the water. And it's not something that's uncommon. Apple went through this when they released the iPhone 5. Within 1 hour, gone, done. But they kept shipping to suppliers as it came in. We're going to follow the same program, work with our vendors, get it here in light speed, get it out to you as quickly as we possibly can. So starting on Monday, it'll still be available during our pre-sale and extend that. We will have some extra units that will be available here for sale once everybody has been supplied. I think that we've got roughly about 500 extra units.
1 month packages.
1 month packages available for sale, okay? So obviously sure first come, first serve basis on that for those that are here at convention only.
Okay,
Everything
can I
else
say
is
one
locked
thing?
down. Yes.
This is how I handled that as a salesman. Mary, I'm so sorry you didn't get a part of that pre-order. This thing's so hot, they can't make it fast enough, so now you have to go on a wait list. Now, if you go on the wait list today, you might get it in 30 days. But I can't promise you anything after that, but if you want to get locked in, now's the time to lock in. Now, here's my comment to all of you, is if you keep blowing us out of the water, we're trying to forecast, but it's really hard. When the sales curve is like that, it's hard to predict it. Okay? So be patient with us. If you keep outselling us 3 or 4 to 1, then we'll keep raising our thing and we'll keep on pre-order. So, hey, you want to buy a new Mercedes in 2013, you want to buy a 2014, put your order in about 3 to 4 months before it comes, because that's the only way you're going to get one.
However, you do not have to wait.
No, you don't have to wait. I'm just saying the best things in life sometimes are in such demand that you have to think in advance. So we'll stay with the pre-order system, pay commissions on it just like we have been, and everybody's volume is going to go up. And we will catch up. There will be a time where that will become that. And we can forecast and predict that. But until then, we're your partner. We're going to do everything we can to get it out as fast as we can. But don't let that slow you down. Pre-order didn't slow you down at all. Nobody had even tried the product. You guys didn't even know what it did. You just had 3 before and afters. And look at what you did. It's going to go nuts. Okay, I can't answer the question.
We need to wrap this one up.
Okay, but my wrap up.
Okay.
You're going to have a great brochure. You got Alex, you got Diane, you got me. But this is the first brochure in Mac's history that has Chuck and Gina. And Chuck and Gina both asked me to tell you as they were leaving, Gina said, "This is so sweet." She said, "Steve, we never had a chance to say goodbye." She said, "We got kind of ushered off stage." And she said, "Then we got to have our pictures with 400 of your people." And she said, "Will you please tell them how much we enjoyed hearing their stories?" Even though it was fast, a lot of you got some words in, evidently, because they started telling me some of the things. And they just said, "You guys are the best," and they are so glad to be a part of your family for the rest of their lives. I'm done.
So, guys, as I mentioned, what you're going to have to do over the next time period is obviously you've ordered enough product to more than supply yourself with your before and after. You're going to have to be able to use, just as independent business owners, your inventory to be able to supply the demands that you've also created until we get that next shipment in, okay? That's the program. Pre-sales on. Anybody between that time frame, you're going to have to be able to supply out of your own business inventory for that you've pre-purchased. And I'm telling you what, lights out, okay? So, guys, what do you think about MetaSwitch? Okay. Guys, congratulations on being part of the official unveiling. Let's go change the world. Thank you.